to my channel. This week we're just gonna do another little quick review on two books that I read this week. I read The Alloy of Law by Brandon Sanderson and The Time of Contempt by Andreas Shabosky. I hope I said that right. I'm gonna start with The Witcher first. I really think that the books are definitely better than live action show as far as what I've seen. I haven't played the full third game or whatever game. I remember this though in what I watched, and yeah, what I like about this is it really involves more than just Geralt of Rivia, even though he is kind of the main character. This is about Geralt. He's a monster hunter for hire, and he is magically altered human that hunts monsters for hire. And he runs into Yennefer, Dandelion, which is the bard that he's usually with, and then Triss is another witch that he does work with from time to time, and Suri, which is like his kind of adopted daughter, and this is more focusing on Yennefer and Triss and Suri, and kind of them at the magic school, getting her prepared to using magic and stuff like that. So it's Geralt is barely in here. There's a couple of scenes with him back and forth, like going and trying to find what's happening with Suri, because Yennefer was not supposed to take her there and stuff like that. But Geralt's not really in this. This is not really Geralt's book. But that, and I would say this is about a 4-star. Yeah, but yeah, I've been really liking the books. I need to play the video game, but I didn't like the live action. But the books are really good. It's a disappointment. So, Mistborn, I would say, is one of those trilogies that I would say is a masterpiece. Like, there was no shortage of... All the books were good, like 5 out of 5 stars. I don't think I gave anything underneath that. And then you have this book. There's a few things, like, I understood going into this. I understood it was a Western, or Western-based story. I understood that it wasn't as dark as Mistborn was. And that's kind of disappointing to me. Because Mistborn, like, Vin's character goes through this extraordinary character arc. She's really young. She's in this dark world where you're never safe. And it's all about her, like, overcoming, like, her lack of trust with people, gaining that trust, and, like, eventually falling in love and stuff like that. And there was this really battle of, like, religion, and especially in the third book, there was, like, all of these really deep things to analyze was all in the first book. Wax and Wayne, like, I hope there's a better character dynamic later on. I hope they grow as characters, because in this one, there wasn't even really good banter. And that was something too. I was like, okay, if it's at least a Western, can we make it like a little bit more like the Will Smith movie? Can't think of it right now. Wild Wild West. Can we make it like that? Like, if we're going to go this direction, we're going to make it a little bit more campier. Like, can we have good banter, and can we make it like that? Instead of Wax and Wayne, like, as a comic relief, and it's not even funny. Like, there wasn't a part of this book that I thought was funny or anything. I just did not like them. And I'm just like, this is 300 years after the events of the Mistborn trilogy. Well, and then I hope nobody reads the back of this book before you finish Mistborn, by the way, because there's a big spoiler. But I can at least tell you this is 300 years after. I'm not going to read the rest of the description for you. Yeah, but, and the magic was so, like, kind of underdone. Like, there was parts where they mentioned the magic, but it was very, very limited. And that's something, like, we can grow as a series. Like, we don't really need to stuff all that in the first book. And to me, the first book is really super short, so how is he going to just give that all to you anyway? And I'm guessing he wrote this based off of the fact that you know how the magic already works. Maybe a pre-chapter just explaining it again would have been nice, but whatever. But I just, and these covers are not helping the situation at all. This looks like a bit like the Mistborn, like, area. Like, I'm not getting any Western vibes at all, and I kind of want to complain about these covers in all honesty. Yeah, it's just, it was disappointing. Like, I had such a good time with the first era, and then this is like a 3.5. It can go up. I mean, this is only book 1. But I read this and I was like, I'm just kind of disappointed. Now would I read other, yeah, I mean, I eventually want to read at least all of the Cosmere books. Anything that's involving the Cosmere, I do want to be involved in. Like, I feel like I've already read Elantris, I've already read the first era, I'm at least gonna finish the second era, and I know Way of Kings, his Stormlight Archive, is even a different, like, it's like I think it's like medieval fantasy or something like that. Or like typical high fantasy. But this, and I can understand because I think the way that these books were written, because I'm reading them way after, is you had Elantris, which is a very heavy, dark book. You had the first era of Mistborn, a really heavy, dark series. I think he might have maybe written Skyward, which is his teen book. Again, a very, very dark series. I've not read Warbreaker, so I can't tell you what the vibe is. And then Stormlight Archive is really heavy. So I could say, like, in that aspect, I understand why he wanted to go to this type of lighter vibe with the second era. Because he was probably like, well, I want to just do something fun. And that's kind of what this feels like. I feel like Brandon Sanderson wanted what I call a playground. And what that means is he has this idea of what he wants something set in. And it's his playground that he wants to play in. And it's either you as a reader want to jump in, play with him, get to know his characters and everything, or you're just not involved. And I feel like with the first era Mistborn, I hate to say that he had something to prove, and that's why it was so good, where it's like with this, like, oh, I'm Brandon Sanderson, I've already written like all these books and I have now room to play. And that's what it felt like, was like he wanted a series that he could play with, and not necessarily something that he had to fully, like, think of themes and stuff like that. Now, there is going to be areas where, like, his overall Cosmere is going to hit this, and that might be something, once we get more into the series, that I might appreciate a little bit more, where you get more into, like, the history and stuff, and how Vin and Kelsier impacted, like, the future of this world and how it's created and stuff like that. I'm hoping we get more of a history. I did read The Secret History too. It helps a little bit. You don't, like, necessarily have to read it. It just gives you a little bit more information on Kelsier, and what he was doing before Mistborn. But Wax and Wayne as characters, I just can't take them seriously. And that's a problem for me when I go from a really serious series like Mistborn and how dark that was and how devastating the ending of the trilogy and of the first book. The second book, I can't remember what happened. But based off of those two things alone, if you know type of thing, this just doesn't hit. And I don't know. Like I said, this is the first book. I'm willing to give it until there's 4 books in here. I'm willing to give it to book 4, which looks huge. So I'm hoping it's great. Have you ever just like looked at a book and you're just like, I hope that's good? Because if it's not, it's going to be a hard time. Yeah, that's how my eyes looking at the 4th book. Knowing what I just read. But I mean, obviously I'm going to take a break because I have a couple other books that I'm doing for Magical Readathon right now. But yeah, it's just disappointing. And then I'm still reading A City of Gods and Monsters. I'm loving this. And then I'm reading the last book of Sarah J. Maas, which I'm not even into yet, so I'm not even going to bother talking about that exactly right now. But I love this. I wish there was more like this. But I'm hoping to get done with that soon because it is a library book. But I'm going to let you guys go for now. I hope you guys are having a lovely Magical Readathon if you are participating. And thank you so much for my people that are subscribed, people that just come on down, want to know my opinions, people that watch my shorts. Like, thank you so much. I really do appreciate all of the support I am given. I am almost up to 60 subscribers. So if you like this content, I am here on Sunday and Thursday. Sunday is book content and Thursday is other media most of the time. And I am going to be giving my review on the new interview, well, the first season of Interview with the Vampire. I know there's this 3rd season coming, but my first one, and I hope to see everybody real soon with another video. I'm hoping it's going to be a review on this and the last last ACOTAR book that is out currently is the one I'm hoping to review next. But anyway, like I said, like and subscribe, and I will see you in another one. Bye!